7th committee meeting of the TEA Curriculum and Program Committee meeting to order. Quite a few items on the agenda today, so we'll try to get rolling through this. 7th, hopefully everyone committee meeting of the TEA Curriculum and that was awkward.
I think it may have been the live stream kicking in.
Okay. The first item of business, hopefully everyone has had an opportunity to read through the October 7th committee meeting minutes. Are there any additions or corrections? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the October 17th committee meeting minutes.
Don't move this, Ray.
Thanks, Ray. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Cindy. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? All right, we'll consider the minutes approved. All right, Sharman, we're going to switch to your show now with several items to consider under this discussion agenda. Let's start with, and I'm going to say WSU Tech several times today, so I apologize in lieu of the applied science and technology. But Sharman, let's start with their request for the mental health technician tech certificate B and associate of applied science.
That's right. Perfect. Thank you, Chair Bean. So they are requesting approval. It's a technical certificate B for 39 credit hours and an associate of applied science for 60 credit hours. This would be in the mental health technician SIP code. WSU Tech explained that discussions began as early as 2020 with the Mental Health and Substance Abuse Coalition regarding the need to provide a talent pipeline in this occupation. And significant subsequent funding has also been approved in Kansas since those early discussions, and the South Central Psychiatric State Hospital is scheduled to open in Wichita in 2026. Students in this program will be prepared to sit for the licensed mental health technician exam from the Kansas Board of Nursing. And WSU Tech is anticipating enrollment of 10 students the first year and 20 students in years 2 and 3. WSU Tech identified the most appropriate occupation code for this program was the mental health technician, and as such, that best SIP code fit was 511502. And as this particular SIP code was moved to non-technical funding status effective AY21, WSU Tech is also proposing to move that SIP code back to technical funding status. And in your issue paper, pardon me, you'll see that additional data was provided that has been previously discussed by the authority to help provide the rationale for making those changes. A couple of examples, the projected 10-year increase for this occupation is 8.3% versus the state average for all occupations of 3.3%. This also is an occupation which requires an industry recognized certification licensure as a mental health technician. The program also requires approval by the Kansas Board of Nursing, and WSU Tech has already obtained that. And then, of course, we have the subsequent opening of the new state hospital that is part of that. So on the Kansas Department of Labor long-term occupational projections, this occupation shows an increase of 0.8% annually, annual median wage of a little over $37,000. The typical education needed is the post-secondary non-degree award, and the annual openings equate to 109 jobs per year at this point. This occupation is also included in the most recent high-demand occupation listing from the Kansas Department of Labor. On the Lightcast job postings for 1 year, there were a little over 11,000 total postings. 313 of those were unique that were advertised statewide. The median advertised salary was 37,000 jobs. And removing the job postings with no education level listed. Almost 90% of the postings indicated the high school diploma or equivalent for entry. Concerning the Perkins Comprehensive Local Needs Assessment, WSU Tech explained that this program was identified as a program which is needed but not currently offered. 7 letters of support were included with the packet. Supports and commitments include interviewing program graduates, providing clinical flights, hosting internships in collaboration with instructors. This program is not currently offered by other institutions. WSU Tech collaborated with WSU to created a credential focused on a post-baccalaureate situation for students. And WSU Tech's proposal is focused on preparing students to take the licensed mental health technician certification exam. Both curriculum plans were approved by the Board of Nursing. The college proposes to begin the program the fall of 2025, estimating initial cost at $129,000 total. This includes $125,000 for new full-time faculty, $3,000 for new adjunct faculty, and then $1,000 for instructional supplies and materials. Deshawn Linson, the Dean of Nursing, will assume responsibility for the program. This program was subject to the 10-day comment period, during which we received no comments. And I think we have several representatives from WSU Tech on the line as well. We'd stand for questions.
Thank you, Charmin. Any additional comments from WSU Tech folks?
Hi, I'm Sarah Leftwick, and I'm Vice President of Health Sciences, Nursing, and Grants Management. And I think it was covered perfectly. That pretty much outlines our proposal.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Sure.
Any questions from the committee members? I will just say that I appreciate WSU's Tech forward thinking, especially with the state hospital opening, I'll say soon. 2026 will be here before we know it. So appreciate your forward thinking on that. If there's no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve WSU Tech's request for mental health technician Cert B and Associate of Applied Science degree. And place it on the consent agenda. Sorry.
I think it's great. So moved.
All right. Thank you, Tiffany. Do we have a second?
I'll second that. This is Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right. We'll consider that approved. Congratulations, Sarah, on all your hard work there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yep. All right, Carmen, we're moving at a rabbit's pace. Let's move to Barton Community College's Medical Laboratory Assistant Cert A request.
Excellent. Barton County Community College explained that this proposal is a result of requests from employers, as well as a request for an added career training from their advisory board. Students are going to earn the Medical Lab Assistant certification from the American Society for Clinical Pathologists, and Barton anticipates annual enrollment of 10 students per semester. When we look at the Kansas Department of Labor long-term occupational listings, this shows an increase of 0.4% annually, an annual median wage of $57,670. The typical education needed for the occupation entry is a baccalaureate degree, and annual openings equate to 250 jobs per year. In this particular case, this occupation rolls up under the clinical lab technologists and technicians in the Department of Labor reporting. This occupation is also on the most recent high demand, high wage occupation listing from the Kansas Department of Labor. 1 year of job posting analytics from Lightcast shows 4,548 job postings. 1,278 of those postings were unique, and the annual median advertised salary was $43,600. When we removed the job postings with no education level listed, 77% of those postings indicate an associate degree or less for entry in the occupation. Comprehensive local needs assessment for Perkins. It was noted that that report identified this occupation as a bright outlook occupation, and that the AY22 Barton MLT and phlebotomy concentrators were below the projected statewide demand indicators. 4 letters of support for the proposed program were received, and commitments included employment opportunities and providing clinical sites. This is another program that's not currently offered by other institutions. Barton offers the medical lab technician program, which is an aligned program. The courses for this assistant program would be part of that program and roll up to it. Additionally, the phlebotomy course is a required prerequisite for the aligned MLT program, and several USDs also provided letters of support for this. The college plans to begin the proposed program in the fall of 2025. Estimated initial costs are a little under $10,000. This includes $7,290 for existing part-time faculty, $1,350 for accreditation, and $990 for instructional supplies and materials, tools, and technology. Karen Gunther, the director of the Medical Lab Tech program, will assume responsibility for the program. We saw the 10-day comment period come and go for this program as well, with no comments. And we do have some representation, I know, from Barton. I didn't see exactly who, I apologize. So we would stand for questions.
Thank you, Sharman. Does anyone from Barton Community College want to add some comments or color?
Yes, I'm Kathy Kotis, the Dean for Workforce Training and Community Education, and I'm here with Elaine Simmons, VP of Instruction, Karen Gunther, Director of our MLT program, as well as Chris Baker, our Executive Director for Health and Public Safety. And I want to thank Sharman and her team as we went through the process of writing this, and we will stand for questions.
All right, thank you, Kathy. And also thank you to the others who joined. Any questions from the committee members?
Mike, I have a question. The technician, I think I got confused. What's the high wage, high demand is for the technician position?
That's correct, Member Mikulka. So this is one of those occupations where currently the Department of Labor here in Kansas is actually rolling up 2 occupations under one SOT code. So we saw this happen with EMTs and paramedics. Since then, EMT and paramedic have actually been reported back out separately. I think this has a lot to do with how employers are actually reporting the unemployment insurance requests for the Department of Labor. So this occupation is a subset of the MLT, the medical lab technician, and that is a high demand, high wage occupation.
But we don't know what the an average or a salary for this position that doesn't require as much training, as if I'm understanding it correctly. We don't know that that's annual salary projection or even a projection for demand.
Well, we do, because these current individuals are part of that data set. So they are already rolled up, and they are part of that data set. So we would use.
Yeah, it's an average of the 2. So, but we don't know if it does fall in high wage, high demand. We just know that the average falls within high wage, high demand. Is that correct?
I'm not sure I'm following quite your question. This occupation is a high demand, high wage occupation, and the assistants and the technicians are both reported in that same number.
Yes. So they don't separate them.
That is correct.
Expect a technician's salary to be higher. If it requires higher level, I would expect it would be higher salary than what the assistant salary would be.
I would as well. So when we think about the different data sets that we have available, the Kansas Department of Labor long-term occupation projection has a median wage of $57,670. But our job posting analytics in Lightcast show 43,600. So, which is still a significant salary.
Yeah. All right. It just puts us in we're saying it's a high wage, high demand and a 0.4% growth annually, as well as not knowing the salary, that we actually don't know the salary for assistants. So we're saying it's a high wage, high demand, and the only thing we base that on is that it's put together. So that's where my question is. I don't disagree with the need for it. I just think the data is not necessarily supporting it separately.
Good question, Deb. Any other questions from the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Barton Community College's request for a medical laboratory assistant technical certification A and place it on the consent agenda. Awkward silence.
This Ray, so move.
Thanks, Ray. We have a second?
Cindy, I'll second.
Thank you, Cindy. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, say aye.
Aye. No.
All right, thank you, Deb. We'll consider that approved and placed on the consent agenda. Moving to WSU Tech's proposal for Scott. Washburn Tech's proposal for an Associate of Applied Science nursing degree.
Mike, I will abstain from this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Sharman, did we lose you?
Okay. Nope, not at all. Apologize for that. I was just making a note here. So Washburn Tech is requesting approval of an Associate of Applied Science degree for 65 credit hours for the associate degree nurse. They explained that the proposal is a result of requests from industry serving on their advisory council for LPN to create this program. Students will sit for the National Council Licensure Examination for Registered Nurse, which is the NCLEX. Washburn Tech anticipates enrollment of 30 students per semester. On our long-term projections for this program, we see an increase of 0.5% annually, an annual median wage of $75,780. The typical education needed for occupation entry is a baccalaureate degree, and the annual openings equate to 1,943 jobs per year. This occupation is also on the most recent high demand, high wage occupation list from the Kansas Department of Labor. When we look at our Lightcast data set for the job posting analytics, we see 39,218 job postings that were advertised statewide. The annual median advertised salary was $81,300, and removing job postings with no education level listed, 60% of the postings indicate an associate degree for entry in the occupation. For the Perkins Comprehensive Local Needs Assessment, this SOC was identified with too few concentrators for the job openings. 2024 data indicated that there were 54 concentrators for 361 job openings in the area. 6 letters of industry support were included in the packet, and the supports and commitments include interviewing program graduates, providing clinical sites, and serving on the advisory committee. Currently, this program is offered by 19 institutions based on SIP code, and that KTIP data for academic year 2023 is included in your packet. Washburn Tech also explained that the program was developed in collaboration with the Washburn University School of Nursing to ensure a seamless pathway. And additionally, Washburn Tech collaborated with Barton County Community College regarding curriculum, admission criteria, and position descriptions for faculty. Planned start is for the spring of 2025, and the estimated initial cost would be $651,975 total. This includes $576,000 for new and existing full-time faculty, $24,000 for new and existing part-time faculty, a little under $16,000 for accreditation fees, and $36,000 for instructional supplies, tools, materials, and so forth. Pam Masters, the Assistant Dean of Health Occupations, will assume responsibility for the program. This program was also subject to the 10-day comment period. We received no comments during that time. And I know that we have not only Pam, but several others, I believe, from Washburn Tech on the line and would stand for questions.
Thank you, Sharman. Anyone from Washburn Tech want to add comments?
Sure, Chair Bean, this is Scott Smathers. We believe this ADN program is just a natural progression for us. We already have an LPN program that we have had over the last few semesters, 100% pass rate. As you heard from Director Chambers, we have a tie-in with the BSN program at the university with Washburn and have created a smooth transition. And this program basically just gives students who have an LPN but want to pursue an RN, but not necessarily are ready to commit to go after their full BSN at this time, the ability to do so within our system. Demand-wise, as you heard at the last TEA meeting, there's a tremendous amount of demand for RNs, and with 2 hospitals in our market, as you appreciate, we've heard many times from them that they really want us to launch this program. From a cost perspective, while it is very expensive for us, we already have many things set up because of the LPN program, which makes it manageable. As Director Chambers mentioned, Pam Masters, who runs our healthcare programs, is on the call. So is Marie Hall, who handles our curriculum development, and Sandy Siebert, who is our Director of Nursing, are all on this call. And we'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, Scott. Any questions from the committee members? My question, Scott, is how does it feel to be on the other side of the fence?
Pretty awkward.
So I do have a question. Just you mentioned it is an expensive program and there is a high cost of entry. Is that coming out of just your standard budget, or do you have grants or other, ability to cover that cost? Or
No, that's a great question. It is primarily coming out of our standard budget, but some of the special grants that we've received as far as student success or other things that we are trying to take advantage of as well going forward. So where we can, we're looking at some of the grant money, but most of it is coming out of our general operating budget.
Okay.
Any additional questions for Sharman or Scott? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Washburn Tech's Associate of Applied Science in Nursing for 65 credit hours and place it on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Cindy.
Second, that's right.
Thank you, Ray. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. Congratulations, Scott and others at Washburn.
Thank you.
All right, Charmin, back to WSU Tech for Technical Certificate B in Associate of Applied Science in Electrical Technology.
Yes, sir, that's right. WSU Tech explained that this proposal is a result of some discussions that were driven by local business and industry, as well as the Kansas Department of Corrections. They highlighted challenges faced by students which have started their electrical technology degree while at the Juvenile Detention Center in Topeka, but they weren't able to finish their degrees when they returned home to Wichita. This gap provided an opportunity to fill not only a crucial educational and workforce need, but it contributes to the reduction of recidivism among these individuals. Students will earn OSHA 10, NCCER, and NC3 certifications. They will also be prepared to sit for the Journeyman Electrical Exam. Anticipated enrollment is 10 students in year 1, and plans are to expand to 2 cohorts of 20 students each by year 2. Kansas Department of Labor, our long-term occupational projections show an increase of 0.9% annually for this occupation, annual median wage of just a little under $60,000. Typical education is a high school diploma or equivalent and an apprenticeship. Annual openings equate to 642 jobs per year. This program is also part of the most recent high demand, high wage occupation listing from the Kansas Department of Labor. In our Lightcast job analytics, we looked from 2023 September through September of 2024. 643 total postings were advertised statewide. Annual median advertised salary was $1,800. And when you remove job postings with no education level listed, 83% indicate a high school diploma or equivalent for entry in the occupation. On the Comprehensive Local Needs Assessment 2024, this SOC code was specifically addressed as an occupation in which the pathway does not currently offered in the region, but needed. 3 letters of support were included with the proposed program. Commitments include interviewing program graduates, providing up-to-date job descriptions and hiring requirements, and serving on the advisory board. Currently, electrical technology is offered by 11 institutions based on this SIP code. That KTIP data is included in your packet, and this program is an aligned program, and this program submission does meet that alignment. WSU Tech collaborated with Washburn Tech on program development to ensure course alignment and easy transferability for these students. The college plans to begin the proposed program, in the fall of 25. Estimating initial cost at a little over $100,000. This includes $100,000 for existing full-time faculty and $2,000 for instructional supplies and materials. Jesse Lane, the Dean of Applied Technology, will assume responsibility for the program. Again, during the 10-day comment period, we received no comments, and I believe we have Jesse and several others from WSU Tech on the line as well. I can still see Scott. That's why I started to say Washburn. Sorry. We'd stand for questions.
I've done it twice, Charmin, so don't feel bad. Any additional comments from WSU Tech on the electricals?
Jesse Lane, Dean of Applied Technologies. We did have an update as far as funding. So we did receive a grant from the Patterson Foundation specific to fund the startup costs of all the lab and equipment to make this happen. So the funding source is there. So otherwise, great summary. You hit the nail on the head.
Thank you, Jesse, and congratulations on the grant too. Any questions from the committee members?
This is Ray. I had a question. They indicated local business and industry support, but I'm not sure I saw in their letters of support any electrical contractors. Why is that?
So we're continuing to work. I believe I thought we had one in there. Continuing to grow that or leveraging the first partners that kind of came to us where these skill sets transfer and that are looking for these in particular. Especially so like there's Idea Tech, which is fiber optic, and a lot of those workforce as the infrastructure of fiber will go down. Those students that are those employees will end up needing long-term skills, which translates best to electrical. So we're going to continue to grow that. We have a significant amount of continuous follow-ups from industry partners to grow those, including opportunities with IBEW. I've got a meeting with them in December. This is the earliest they could get with me, but we would like to continue growing and collaborating those as we have opportunities and create awareness around the program.
So IBW, is that the union?
Yes, correct.
Okay, but I'm curious, what outreach do you have for electrical contractors outside of the union?
So we plan on working as well with AGC, which is the non-union, a lot of the non-union ones, to continue growing those outside of the ones we've already identified. So we've got a couple. Those were the ones we have that were willing to go ahead and get the paperwork done to sign a contract or sign an MOU with us. So
in your discussions with electrical contractors, how important is it to them that these individuals have a degree versus obtaining a journeyman certificate?
So the journeyman certificate is the key. The goal being to get them to that journeyman certificate. For the licensure in the Sedgwick County, you can replace 1 year of your work with technical education. So that's kind of where we're finding the opportunity to get them some training, get them a better opportunity to be successful when they enter the workforce and find those positions. And yes, the journeyman is the goal for them to be ready to start working towards their journeyman licensure.
Good questions, Ray. Any other questions from committee members? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve WSU's request for a technical certificate B in Associate of Applied Science and Electrical Technology and place it on the consent agenda.
Mike, this is Deb, and I would so move, but I
Thank you,
would
Deb.
suggest they get us some names or that they include names of, I think it is good to have employers in the area that will be part of your committees, your support committees, and be hiring your individuals. So, but I so move.
Thank you, Deb. Is there a second?
Yes, I'll second, Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Jesse. All right, Sharman, let's move to item B, act on Excel and CTE fees. And if there is an objection, we can take these separately. If not, we can bundle them together. Any objection to bundling? I feel like a State Farm commercial right there.
Not a very good one.
All right, Sharman, will you briefly summarize both of these and we'll just bundle them together?
I will. So in this particular case, this is a Barton Community College, and this is for the medical laboratory assistant program. program. The total would be $684 in Excel and CTE fees. The majority of that would be for textbooks at $579. And then WSU Tech is requesting approval for $20 worth of fees. This is for a management of aggressive behavior textbook. You don't have any additional information in your packet because these are the two programs that are being requested that do not have any other institutions offering them. So there are no Excel and CTE fees to compare to.
Thank you, Charmin. Any questions from the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the request for Excel and CTE fees for Barton Community College's Medical Laboratory Assistant Program and WSU Tech's Mental Health Technician Program, and place it on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Cindy.
Second.
Thank you, Ray. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carried. All right, item C, Charmin, we have 4 items under this.
That's right.
Any objections, committee, to bundle? All right, Charmin, I'll turn it over to you. I mean, this can be a brief summary. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So, but
Yes, sir. So all 4 of these programs are specified in the legislation for the Promise Act, either under the mental and physical health care category or under the manufacturing and building trades. Does that hit everything? I think it does. So these are all at least high demand occupations. So they fit those requirements.
all right, thanks, Charmin. Any questions from the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Barton's Medical Laboratory Assistant, Washburn Tech's Associate Degree of Nursing, WSU Tech Electrical Technology, WSU Tech Mental Health Technician Program for the Promise Act, and place it on the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Tiffany. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ray. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion carried. Congratulations, Barton, Washburn, and WSU Tech on all your great work in putting forth some solid programs that we realize are much in need, not only in your regions, but throughout the state. Just a reminder to committee members, our next committee meeting is December 5th. Hard to believe we're moving into thinking about December. And then our next full Technical Education Authority is November 21st via Zoom call. That is also National Apprenticeship Week for those of you keeping score on your apprenticeship scorecard. So hopefully everybody can join those two meetings. And then I'll entertain, if there's no other items to discuss, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thanks, Ray. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. I think that was Deb. If anyone objects, speak now or hold your peace until December 5th. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining again. Congratulations, and thanks for your hard work. The team at Barton Community College, Washburn Tech, and WSU Tech, and to the committee members who joined today, thank you very much. We will see most of you November 21st via Zoom. Thanks. Meeting adjourned.